Good afternoon. My pleasure today is to introduce you to Esther Aguilera. She is the CEO of the Latino Corporate Directors Association, headquartered in beautiful Washington, D.C. Hi, Esther. Thank you so much for being with us today and this interview for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Susana, it's my pleasure to join you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time today. So, Esther, I am very interested in the work that you're doing at the association. It seems that the association is not a very traditional, standing organization. You became operational only in 2016. But I see that there are great results about the work that you're doing. Why don't you explain a bit to our audience, what is the association about and how did you get involved in it?
Sure. Well, first, this organization was started by a pioneering group of Latino corporate directors serving on publicly traded or large private company boards. And they got tired of complaining of the low number of Latinos in the boardroom. Plus, we kept hearing and still hear that, search firms or companies were telling us, well, we can't find qualified Latinos for the boardroom. And so this group of directors, and actually it was also helped launched by Esther, formed a new organization to be part of the solution. Rather than continuing to complain and point fingers, they said, well, what are we doing about it? Right. And so that's how it got started. And for me, I have 30 years working in Washington, D.C., and my personal and professional passion has been elevating Latinos to positions of power and preparing us to take our seat at the table. So I've had the privilege of working with members of Congress, cabinet members. I've put together meetings with the President of the United States and events. And so now it's fitting that I was brought on to really grow this organization and create change.
Excellent, excellent. I love that because it is a aspiration of all Latinos to really get the representation we deserve, being such a large minority right now, right? And the political and economic power that we have. And so we are this today, we are about to start Hispanic Heritage Month. So we thought about building this series of conversations with national leaders. Our topic is make it happen, make it happen. What are the main challenges the Latinos and especially Latinas face in corporate America and or get into the C-suite? What in your experience?
Well, first, make no mistake, Latinos and Latinas are invisible in the C-suite and the boardroom. For Latinas, it's even smaller. There's only about 1% of the public company board seats are held by Latinas. Yet, we're such a large and contributing sector. We have a long tradition of entrepreneurship and growing corporate businesses nationwide. So the numbers are very small. I have a couple of stories. Working with some of our Latina executives, they shared with me some of the barriers that they have faced. And one of them was approached by her HR person. This was in a big financial institution. And they said, here's, a job that you might consider. It pays a little more, etc. And she went to a mentor and said, HR is steering me in this direction. What should I be aware of? And her mentor said, I'm so glad you came to. That job is a dead-end job. It will take you maybe another step, but then there's no opportunity for advancement there. They're not going to tell you, but I will. You stick to your course because that will be the course to grow to many more heights. And so that was information that was confidentially shared.
Right.
And it empowered her. She went back to the HR individual and asked them, well, tell me about the job and other opportunities to advance in it. And clearly, when she asked the question, they said, yeah, there's not as much advancement. And so she made the right decision. But that story tells us that too often Latinas and Latinos are steered into good jobs, but that don't have as much advancement. That's one of the problems.
I see. And that would have taken away a lot of opportunities maybe for her to really progress in that company or any other company, as well. So, so what do you think is happening now in what are the main obstacles? You mentioned before that they sometimes the companies say there are no qualified Latinos, or you said we are invisible. Why is that? What can you expand a little bit on that? I'm very interested about that topic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will give you the example of our association.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have done is focused on growing the supply. So our membership has tripled in the last couple of years. And we're showcasing and bringing together the qualified Latinos for the boardroom so that we take away the excuse. Susana, what is unique about us is that we have brought together Latino corporate directors, current and former corporate CEOs, and C-suite and top executives in corporate America. Our membership is in the hundreds.
Okay.
This caliber and extensive network has never existed for us as a community. And so by bringing the talent pool together, we can say, hey, we've got it covered, regardless of the industry or functional expertise that you're looking for. For the boardroom, there is ample talent. It's bringing it together.
So when you mention the membership, it means that it's open to anybody at that level, no matter of race or ethnicity. It's just the position in the company that matters to bring that network together so they meet the Latino talent. Is that correct? Is that the way it works?
This is a Latino Corporate Directors Association. So our membership is made up of only Latino and Latinas.
Oh, I see.
And we have two membership groups.
Okay.
We have experienced corporate directors, and then we have executives who are aspiring directors. And we have a board ready institute that helps to position them and promote them for their first board seat.
Oh, I see.
What's beautiful about it is that the experienced directors are committed to paying it forward and coaching and helping to advance the next group of executives for the boardroom.
Right. Exactly. So you told me in a previous conversation, in a preparation conversation, that you were very excited about talking about results. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about results?
Sure. Well, let me start with where we have been historically.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just this week, we produced a fact sheet and report called Sounding the Alarm Bell. Susana, Latinos are the least represented compared to any other group. Only 3% of the Fortune 1000 company board seats are held by Latinos. There's more Asian, Black, and certainly white. Even though our numbers in the population are larger, we are being left behind. In fact, over the last 10 years, between 2010 and 2020, Latinos only gained 1%. We went from a 2% of corporate board seats to a 3%. In 10 years, how does that happen? So we have so much talent that was left behind. So let me tell you, that's been the historic trend. We have set it upon ourselves. So now that we have the talent pool and the supply, we work directly with companies. We're writing to companies to say, there is ample talent and we can help you find it. So we work with companies, search firms, private equity to tap that talent. Plus, we're doing the research. And by the way, in 2021, the first 6 months of 2021, we have directly and indirectly influenced 174 corporate board appointments. That is 4 times greater than last year. Last year, it was 43 appointments. Today is 175 because of our efforts. Historic, it's never happened before.
That's fantastic. That's incredible. It's incredible activity that you're producing at the association level, so that you're constantly reaching out to companies and presenting your members. That is beautiful. A lot of people that I have seen interviewing now in corporate America are a little bit concerned about the pandemic and the work from home situation, where they feel like they might miss opportunities to be promoted if they keep working from home. However, some Latinas and African American women have expressed their preference to work from home because of multiple reasons, from family and children and caregiving to other even cultural issues as well. What have you heard from that?
Well, the workplace has advanced and pivoted very, very quickly. I think we're all learning a great deal about both the advantages and learning more about what might be the disadvantages to a virtual scenario. I think at the end of the day, there has to be a good mix so that there's still obviously the in-person kind of engagement is very, very valuable. Mm-hmm. And as is the virtual. Right. Now, I work with corporate directors, and so that space is a little different. They are having some of their corporate board meetings virtually. My team and my staff were a lot smaller, but we've been virtual, from the beginning, and find that it works well for us. So I think it's very different, especially larger settings like big corporations mm-hmm. are right now thinking through some of that. So I think there's still some calibrating going on.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned some of the initiatives that you have had this past year, which is wonderful. What other, do you have programs, training programs? What do you, how do you prepare this talent that you are this pool of talent?
That's right. Well, Susana, we have the Board Ready Institute, which is really unique. It's comprehensive. It's the only program of its kind. It has 4 components for executives interested and qualify for the boardroom. One, we have a toolkit that helps them prepare their board bio. Your board bio is very different than an executive bio, and practice your pitch and how you can talk about your value. So we help accentuate that. Second, there's corporate governance. Corporate governance and risk today is an ever evolving area. So we have continuing education and education programs there. Third, the boardroom is about the network. So our members, executive members, are part of a network of not only board members, but we work with all the search firms. So it's the network and the coaching. Our experienced directors coach and support the executives. And lastly, Susana, number 4 is that we promote the executives for board opportunities. In fact, last year we helped with about 105 board search requests. Today, we're already at 200 and will likely help with about 300 by the end of the year. And so we get requests for certain skill sets for a board position, and we sort through our membership and give them as many qualified people and work with them to make sure that we can connect them to board talent.
Okay, that's our little advice that we are almost on time. We have just a few minutes, and I'm going to ask you the last question. And Latinas in Business is a national nonprofit media organization. And we advocate for the Latina working woman in general, mostly for entrepreneurs, but also in corporate America. How can we support this beautiful work that you're doing at the association? How can we help support your job, your work?
Well, there's absolutely a place for everyone to help. We have a Latino board tracker on our website that lists the Fortune 1000 companies, and you can search it to find out which companies have Latinos on the boards and which don't. We've recently sent them all a letter. I think if I'm out educating the community about this effort and joining in. So you can search, you're in New Jersey. You can look in the Latino board tracker and find out what companies are in New Jersey, what companies have Latinos, which don't, what industries, which ones have boards, and information is power. So we can all let these companies know that, diversity efforts are not complete without Latinos. We're 2 in 10 Americans. We're driving consumption growth, and we're 25% of the GDP. So information, we can all play a role.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Esther. I think we are going to hopefully keep in touch, and we love to feature, some of your candidates, especially women, obviously, because that's our main goal. But we will definitely would love to support everything that you're doing because it's so important. And I appreciate your time today. I appreciate your dedication to our community, to our beloved Latino community. And I will, let you know if there is any opportunities that we can collaborate.
Well, we have plenty of people that you can hear from and learn from and share experiences with. We do have a membership directory on our website. Take a look at it, and you'll just be inspired by the amazing, accomplished, and respected leaders in business. Too often, people say, well, we can't find them, and now we have hundreds listed.
That's fantastic. You have the folders, right? Remember?
The binders. Multiple binders, not just one. Make no mistake, there's plenty of talent.
There's plenty. There's plenty. I agree with you. Thank you, Esther. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend.
Claro que sí. Thank you very much, Susana.
Gracias, gracias, Esther.